Hello, my name is Brenda Bonuke, and this is my digital story. Advertising has ensured that everywhere one turns, one is bombarded with billboards of actresses and models who seem to get skinnier, taller, and younger.
Magazines and TV shows are filled with weight loss programs like Shedding for the Wedding or Heavy, whose tagline is, "Losing is their only hope." Programs like Single Ladies or Gossip Girls, whose cast is made up of what society represents to be beautiful and handsome ideal persons. Exposure to certain media content has led to persons struggling with their body image, as encounter with these images of perfection drawn by the media stirs feelings of a need to strive to attain the ridiculous standards set. In a world where pervasive media images fuel unrealistic expectations about how one should look, and dissatisfaction if one fails to make the grade, I chose to do my study on this topic so as to try and find the link between poor body image and the representation of masculinity and femininity by the media. Lightstone defined body image as that which involves our perception, imagination, emotions, and physical sensations of and about our body. It is how you feel others perceive you, what you believe about your physical appearance, how you feel about your body, and how you feel in your body. Social psychologist Leon Festinger hypothesizes that there is a drive to self-evaluate oneself in comparison to others in the society. And in his theory, Social Comparison, he states that people evaluate their own opinions and desires by comparing themselves with others. Society associates being thin with hardworking, beautiful, strong, and self-disciplined. On the other hand, being fat is associated with being lazy, ugly, weak, and lacking willpower. Because of these harsh critiques, rarely are women and men completely satisfied with their images, and as a result, they often feel great anxiety and pressure to achieve and maintain an imaginary appearance. From my thesis, I will take an ethnographic approach and do a qualitative research as opposed to a quantitative one. Qualitative research is more focused on how people feel, what they think, and why they make certain choices, which is precisely what my thesis is set to find out from the subjects at study. After carefully looking at the data collection methods available, I thought it best to go for focus groups and individual in-depth interviews. And as affirmed by Lunt and Livingstone, focus groups are particularly useful when researchers seek to discover participants' meanings and ways of understanding, as a quasi-naturalistic method for studying the generation of social representations. Interviewing is defined as a conversation with a purpose by Kahn and Carnell, and I plan to use the semi-structured interview due to its consistency and its data saturation is increased while using an interview guide. Interviews are useful to obtain detailed information including one's perceptions, feelings, attitudes, and opinions. During the data collection process, I'll be utilizing visual methodologies because, as John Burgess emphasizes, seeing comes before words, as it involves using photographs to invoke comments, memory, and discussion during a research interview, and effectively exercise agency, causing the interviewees and the focus group participants to do and also think of things they have forgotten or see things they were aware of in a new light. After choosing the data collection method, I researched on the analysis methods that I employ in my thesis. To analyze collected data is to describe the objects or events to which the data refers to. Consent is all about participants choosing whether or not to be part of one's research study, and it must entail capacity, voluntariness, and information. And therefore, I will ensure my participants are legally adults and they understand what my study is all about, and they have a free choice to participate or not. As my study is about body image, I will be keen not to ask questions which would have any effect on my participants psychologically or emotionally. And when writing up, I will make sure I do not portray the findings in such a way that the identity of my participants may jeopardized. Since I'm also keen on the pervasive media text and beauty and fashion, and I often perform social comparison, I will reflect on and examine my relationship with the thesis and how this may affect the research decisions. Thank you very much for watching my digital story.